माननीय सदस्य श्रीमती प्रतिमा मंडल जी।
Madam, on behalf of All India Trinamool Congress, I rise to speak on the readjustment of representation of scheduled tribes in assembly constituencies of the state of Goa Bill 2024. मैडम, हिंदी में कहावत है, देर आए पर दुरुस्त आए, लेकिन इस बिल पढ़ने के बाद फिर से और एक बार ये स्पष्ट हो गया है कि ये सरकार बोलने में तो माहिर है, लेकिन तफसीली जाति और जनजाति के लिए ये कुछ करेगा नहीं। पिछले 10 साल जैसे झूठे वादा का सौदा किया, आने वाले दिन भी वही झूठे वादा करना कुछ नहीं। बिकॉज द बिल relies on census data from 2001 to ascertain the scheduled tribe population, which is outdated and does not reflect the current demographics. The inclusion of the Kunbi, Gauda and Velip communities in the scheduled tribe list in 2003 and the substantial increase in the scheduled tribe population as per the 2011 census should have prompted an earlier intervention. The reliance on old data may lead to flawed representation adjustment, undermining the very objective of fair representation. Secondly, Madam, the bill acknowledges that the Delimitation Commission's work ended in 2008 and further delimitation has been frozen until after the 2026. This delay raises question about why this government waited until 2024 to introduce this bill. The delay has already deprived scheduled tribe communities of rightful representation for over 2 decades. Thirdly, Madam, the bill grants extensive power to the Election Commission to amend the delimitation order and readjust it. While the Election Commission's autonomy is crucial, the lack of a clear and transparent process in the bill raises concern about potential arbitrariness. The absence of a clear framework for public consultation and accountability in the decision-making process is worrisome. The Election Commission's amendment to the delimitation process should include a mandatory public consultation phase. This would allow citizens and community leaders to voice their concern and suggestion, ensuring that readjustment process is transparent, participatory and democratic. Fourthly, Madam, the central government is empowered to issue orders to remove any difficulties in implementing the Act. This provision will allow the government to make potentially significant changes without parliamentary scrutiny, raising concern about the erosion of democratic oversight. Any significant change should require the approval of Parliament, ensuring that democratic processes and checks and balances are maintained. Fifthly, Madam, the bill states that the readjustment of seats will not affect the existing legislative assembly until its dissolution. This means that even if the bill is enacted, scheduled tribe communities will have to wait until the next election cycle to benefit from the adjustment. These further delays justice and representation for these communities. The bill should include a specific timeline for the completion of delimitation process and the implementation of seat adjustment to ensure timely justice. Sixth point, Madam, that Goa has witnessed significant demographic changes since 2001, and the bill does not adequately address how this shift will be factored into the new delimitation process. The exclusion of updated demographic data could lead to ineffective or inequitable representation. The bill should mandate the use of the most recent census data such as the 2011 or even provisional 2021 figure to ensure that the readjustment of seats accurately reflects current demographic realities. My seventh point is the bill's provision that prevents the population figure and amendments from being challenged in court could be seen as an attempt to insulate the process from judicial review. These raises constitutional concern as it may infringe on the judiciary's role in upholding the rule of law and protecting citizens' rights. A mechanism for judicial oversight could be included to ensure that the process remains fair and constitutional. This would build public trust and prevent potential legal challenges. Madam, here I would like to mention here that for the sustainable development and for the economical development, our Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Bandyopadhyay every month provide 1,000 rupees to the SC/ST communities under the scheme of Taposhili Bondhu and Joy Johar scheme. Madam, how can we expect from this government that this government will do justice to the SC/ST people? Because this government removed Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar's statue, holding the constitution in his hand, raising his finger towards the parliament building. This is nothing but to dishonor Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar as well as towards the entire SC/ST communities. With this, madam, I would conclude my speech and thank you for permitting time to finish my speech. Thank you, madam. Thank you.